Hello everyone, welcome to Jack's Top 10. In this video we talk about 10 people with superpower in the real world. So before starting this video, please like this video and subscribe to this channel for our future update. If it's mutant superpowers fans want to see, there's no need to depend on some fictional, CGI-enhanced Marvel movie. There are very real people with very real gene-based super abilities all around us. First, let's begin with the fact that mutations do not mean retractable claws or the ability to control the weather. In fact, these little genetic typos typically result in very minor changes, which, when they aren't deadly, are often invisible. Mutations are the means by which nature adds new variants into the genetic pool. If these traits are advantageous, or at least benign, they are passed along through generations until they become a normal part of a species' grander gene pool. Without mutations, evolution would not be possible. Species could never gain new abilities or attributes. For example, in our species' recent past, around 12,000 years ago, a single human had a mutation that gave him the superpower to drink cow's milk and not get sick, which was then passed to half the world's population. Now we have cheeseburgers. Scientists believe that every time the human genome duplicates itself, there are around 100 new mutations. They're pretty common and usually negligible. However, it would stand to reason that within the pantheon of human mutations, some would express themselves in the form of extraordinary superhuman abilities. Number 10. Super endurance. Finnish Olympic skiing champion Eero Mäntyranta may have been the first Finnish sportsman to test positive for hormone doping, but he probably didn't need to, since he had genetic super endurance powers. Along with other members of his extended family, Mäntyranta had a condition resulting from a mutation in the erythropoietin receptor gene. This resulted in the ability to carry 50% more oxygen in his bloodstream, a trait that is quite advantageous in endurance competition. Number 9. Super strength. When you think of genetic disorders, physical frailty might be something you can imagine. However, there are also genetic disorders that exist on the other side of the bell curve that result in superhuman strength. And that seems to be the case with Michigan boy Liam Hoekstra. Liam has a rare genetic condition in which his body blocks the protein myostatin, which inhibits muscle growth. Individuals or animals with this deficiency tend to have much larger muscles with little body fat and inherent super strength. While Liam doesn't appear to boast any fantastical car-tossing strength, he is naturally stronger than all his peers without doing any training. The only downside to his condition is that he must eat more than most in order to keep up with his body. Number 8. Eating that which should not be eaten. Michel Lotito was a French entertainer known as Monsieur Mangeait Out or Mr. Eats All. Throughout his career, Michel consumed all manner of non-consumable objects made of glass, rubber, and metal, which he would often accompany by downing mineral oil. One of his most impressive feats was consuming an entire Cessna 150 airplane, which he ate in small bits over the course of 2 years. There was a couple of things going on here. First, Michel appeared to suffer from a condition known as pica, a disorder characterized by the appetite for non-consumable foods like dirt, rocks, and metals. But what makes Michel truly notable is the abnormally thick lining in his stomach and intestines that made it possible for him to eat sharp metal objects and consume toxic substances, which would have killed a lesser person. Number 7. Ability to eat many hot dogs. Competitive eater Takeru Kobayashi attributes some of his unique ability to the fact that his stomach sits far lower than that of the average human, thus giving it more room to expand upwards. When asked about his unnamed digestive condition during a 2012 AMA, Kobayashi said that the stomach condition is true. I have been checked not on a serious level. I have had a camera put down in my stomach before. When they put it inside, just a camera touching the inside of my stomach stretched it, and it surprised the doctors because of the elasticity. Number 6. Hyperphotographic memory. You may have difficulty remembering the exact details of the late 1970s TV sitcom Taxi, but actress Marilu Henner sure doesn't. And not just because it was her most notable role, but rather because she has a condition known as hyperthymesia, or the ability to recall every tiny, stupid detail from her life going back decades. Ever why detail? Marilu is only one of 25 confirmed cases of hyperthymesia, which allows her to pinpoint the smallest details of her life on nearly any given day. She told ABC that rifling through her memory is similar to viewing little videos moving simultaneously. When somebody gives me a date or a year or something, I see all these little movie montages, basically on a time continuum, and I'm scrolling through them and flashing through them. While some scientists theorize hyperthymesia is the result of an obsessive-compulsive need to constantly review, and therefore renew, one's memories, there is also a physiological link in which the temporal lobe and caudate nucleus of the brain are found to be enlarged in the afflicted. Number 5. Superflexibility. Even if you don't know the name Javier Botet, chances are you have seen his work if you're a horror movie fan. Javier was the emaciated creature at the end of the Spanish horror film Rec, the titular character in Mama, set in the 2017 remake of The Mummy, and Slender Man in the 2018 movie of the same name. As you see in the test footage above from Mama, while a lot can be done with makeup and CGI, it's no replacement for the spookiness that comes from someone with the ability to bend themselves in ungodly poses. Botet suffers from a genetic condition known as Marfan syndrome, which affects connective tissue throughout the body. People with Marfan tend to be unusually tall, with long limbs and fingers, and have abnormal flexibility. Marfan is a spectrum disease, meaning that severe cases can lead to life-threatening defects in the heart and other organs. However, those with mild symptoms can live normal, full, healthy lives. Number 4. Party hard and face no physical consequences. Why is Ozzy Osbourne still alive? And I ask this question as a fan. For someone who has, by his own admission, drank, smoked, popped, snorted, and injected copious amounts of substances over the years, how is Osbourne still around when so many similarly inclined musicians from the past are not? The answer may be due to his mutant superpowers for partying. Really? Back in 2010, Ozzy had his genome sequenced, and researchers said they found several gene variants never seen before. They are, perhaps unsurprisingly, found in regions of the genome associated with alcoholism and how the body absorbs methamphetamine and other recreational drugs. Number 3. No need for sleep. You've always heard that you need 8 hours of sleep a night. And that's good advice for most people. There are some people out there who require far less, and their reason is genetic. University of California, San Francisco researchers conducting genetic tests on sleep test participants located a mother and daughter who share an unusual trait. They both carry an abnormal copy of a gene known as DEC2, which affects the circadian rhythm. The result is they are short sleepers who need far less sleep than the average person. This is a genetic disposition that may affect as much as 5% of the population. Number 2. A six-finger sinker. Former MLB relief pitcher Antonio Alfonseca was known for his killer sinker. While this pitch was surely the result of years of practice and perfection, it's difficult to conclude that it wasn't also at least partially due to the sixth finger on his throwing hand. Alfonseca was born with a rare genetic condition known as polydactyly, which results in extra fingers or toes. In fact, El Pulpo, or the octopus, as his teammates called him, has an additional extremity on each hand and foot. While it's debatable if the extra finger actually helped his pitching, it's hard to imagine that it had no effect. Number 1. Unbreakable bones. Members of an unnamed Connecticut family were found to suffer from a genetically linked condition, which resulted in significantly stronger and denser bones. Additionally, the bones appeared to be resistant to age-related wear, a sort of anti-osteoporosis. Thanks for watching video.